Hello, welcome back. We're going to be talking about Dark Colony today, which is the last introduction of the colonies that we've got to do. Let's start with the Patriarch, Echofang. So sorry. Echofang is the oldest of the three. He's definitely the most wise and noble. He truly avoids any conflict and is not one for gossip or rumors. He's very level-headed. He also happens to be Rabbit, the protagonist for this colony. He is her uncle. He is Bumblelight's sister. And he has pretty much been the Patriarch for quite a while. Which is something that the colonies are like a bit iffy about because they want to change up leadership, but it's not as if he's problematic, so they're kind of just okay with it. Because he does help, especially during river chasing, the younger, newer leader kind of settle in. Next is his Moderator, Thornroot. I love her because she is prickly in the same way that I love female characters to be written. She has no interest in having a mate or kits, and she much rather fight than have to deal with children, which is very funny in comparison to her brother, who's coming up in a few. She likes her job, and that is all she wants to do with her life. Next is Bluewing. Bluewing is our healer, or one of our two healers. She's the doctor. I find it hard to say whether or not she had either gotten into a scrap because her ears are all banged up before she became a doctor or after she became a doctor. Sorry, my voice is all wonky today. Because she is very methodical and knows how to do her job, and it seems definitely appropriate that if she had to fight through a fox or something to get to her herbs that she needed, she definitely would go toe-to-toe with it, no problem. Like, she does not care at all. She just wants to do her job, and she wants to fight sometimes when she's got to. It's she's quite enjoyable, and she's the most she's the youngest of the three doctors in the colonies because the other two are older and stressed. Very sorry. Smokecurl, talked about him a little bit. He is Rabbit's father. He is pretty secretive and protective over the colony, which makes him fit pretty well as a Mender. He enjoys more of the physicality of healing, and while he is very protective and kind, he's also prone to vengeful thoughts and can get pretty angry. He's got quite the bark and quite the bite. Next is Thornroot's brother, Wormtongue. Funny fact, Wormtongue is actually a last name for a Lord of the Ring character, and it's meant as an insult, and I knew that character, and I also gave Wormtongue this name, and I just didn't even realize until later when I had watched or read the books again. I was just like, oh, Wormtongue, that feels okay. but it's not meant as an insult for him. It's genuinely, it describes kind of his appearance. Wormtongue's great. He like a worm, he can go through the tunnels eyes closed and paws bound. He is just great, excellent. He also loves children, and he's the kit magnet for his sister to get them all off her. Night Dawn, I talked about her last time. She is one of the 2 guardians. I said that she's pretty surprising in her role because she prefers to be around nearly novice-aged young and not necessarily kits, which is why Wormtongue raises them young and then Night Dawn takes over because they're both guardians. Next, Silkfeather. Silkfeather is the pretty kitty of the colony. She is the brother, or not brother, her brothers are Owljaw and Smokecurl, and she's pretty bottled up, Silkfeather. She's the most unproblematic out of the 3 of them, and she's the only hunter, and because of that, she's supporting most of the colony in hunting when it comes to training, and she can feel quite a bit stressed about it. Thankfully, though, there's only 1 novice at the moment, and the rest of the colony is well on their way to hunting as well. So she's worked stressed, but not completely abandoned. After that is Ravenfrost. Ravenfrost is Night Dawn and her mate Goldsight, who unfortunately passed away, their daughter. Ravenfrost is the one cat that you can expect to fight everything, and is most often hanging out with the doctors because she got into another scrap and is now badly hurt. But she always almost walks away with it without a scratch. She's excellent. Owljaw, I've talked about him in the last video. He's very lackluster. I don't like him as a person, but I find him to be an interesting enough character that he's fun to work with, in the regard of he's one of those guys you hate so much that you kind of just appreciate how much the author makes you hate them. That's how I feel for him. That's he's not enjoyable as a person. Next is Burr Prickle. This design does something to my heart, okay? Burr Prickle is so pretty. He makes my heart flutter. Just because I love dark tabbies with white. It's so cute. Personality-wise, he's both very aggressive and highly nervous. He gets really excitable and can be extremely hard to deal with. It's hard for him to, like, calm down, and he often is just taken care of by his mate Swiftwind, who at this point knows how to handle all of his all of his nature and all of that. So they have a very nice relationship, and for the most part he is tamed down a lot, and has a few bursts of being frustrated or nervous, but not as much as he used to have when he was quite young. Swiftwind. Swiftwind is mom. she's just excellent. She is a total sweetheart. She can handle all of Burr Prickle's mood. She reads him like an open book, and she takes excellent care of her two kits. She's super supportive, even if she doesn't quite understand one of her daughters perfectly. And she is always willing to lend a hand. Quite excellent. Also, just calico cats. Just calico cats, okay? We need more. And we have Swiftwind here. She's perfect for it. Beautiful, beautiful calico cats. Not a lot to say, but I love the little heart on her cheek. It's, I gave it to one of her daughters, because it's cute. I think it might be like a family trait. Next is their two kits, starting with Brindleheart. Brindleheart, is prone to the same, like, aggressive natures, that her father had, so she can also be pretty easily, wound up and excitable, and she is also really dumb, because she spent all this time pining after Ravenfrost, because the two like grew up together, and then as soon as she loses interest, Ravenfrost is like, oh, I think I might also like mollies. They're very cute together, though they're not currently together in river chasing. They do end up together through the course of the story. Next is Patchfur, her sister. She is that clueless and kind of ditzy and so easily distracted, and she gets lost in the tunnels. She just gets lost, and everyone else is worried like how she can get through, but she has her wonderful mate Rubble Speckle there to help, and has started to learn all the places to walk so that she can get out easily. And she is the cat everyone's assuming is going to be the next mother to have the next litter of kits. Now, Rubble Speckle, her mate, is he's very like average warrior. He's pleasant. He's super easy to respect people. He's kind of a helpless romantic to Patchfur, and he always knows how to take care of her. While she feels too scattered to have a litter, he is perfectly respectful of that. He doesn't push. He doesn't prod. He's, always respectful of everyone else's issues, and he's just a great guy all around, and just average dweller. Like, he's just good. Marigold Shadow, talked about her last time. Marigold Shadow is very unhappy and angry around most people. She has a bit of a butting heads situation with her mother because of how much she gets babied for her injuries. She has some of the worst injuries that any of the cats in the colony, or even in all of the colonies have, and because she's very close to her mother, Night Dawn is also like extremely worried that these injuries might leave her unable to function and have to retire, but she does not care. And Marigold Shadow is, she got herself back to being a dweller and no longer retired, so good for her. We need more disabled characters. Now, Rabbit. This is where we slow down because there's a lot to talk about with Rabbit, and I know I talked about a lot of it in the last episode about her, but it's just, Rabbit handles a lot for being so young, and I wanted to portray what it's like for young children who don't have the ability to rely on their own parental figures, so they start to search for inappropriate things. They get into things too early, more than they should, and yeah, I think it kind of strikes the balance of, so we have, oh god, I can't remember her name, Wave. Wave lives in an abusive family, and she, has abusive parents. Well, not physically, very verbally. And Doc lives in, lives in an environment with toxic individuals around. Rabbit very much lives in a more positive place, but she doesn't have any family around her that she knows of. When her mother died, she was left alone, and that's a lot of stress for her, and it's kind of understandable how she would look for acceptance in Owljaw, and Owljaw, being the terrible guy he is, took advantage of a child, unknowingly his niece, and it's not okay. I don't condone it. I think it's an interesting story, but it's definitely horrible, and yeah, Owljaw doesn't have a lot of redeeming qualities besides the fact that he makes a story interesting. So yeah, that's about all. Yeah. Next week, I'm going to be doing speed paint about a couple OCs of mine, older OCs. It's on a whim because I started working on that speed paint early. And yeah, I have plans for this weekend, so that video coming out after that is going to be done pretty soon. Anyways, I'll see you next week. Bye bye.